Alright guys, you join me say, sorry, not on the bank, but in the studio, as you can tell by the computers and stuff. So I do all my editing for the YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, all that sort of stuff. There'll be links up here for that. But today I'm going to show you how I tie my IQD rig. I know there's a lot of tutorials out there, how to tie them and how not to tie them. But IQD rig comes in a lot of my fishing, so if you do follow us, you might want to know how I do it. So I'm going to take you through step by step of what the components and how I tie it. So let's go on, let's jump in. So the rig today we'll be tying up is the IQ2D rig. The reason why it's called IQ2D is because the material we're using is called IQ2, and the D is because of, if it'll focus, there, it's because of the D here. For those guys who don't know. So I'll get into tying it for you. The components you're going to need are a hook of your choice. For this, to focus. For this one I'm using the wide gape X, I think it's called. And then you're going to need an anti-tangle sleeve, a micro swivel, if you can see that, and a kicker. That'll focus, there you go. And obviously your IQ. So you're going to cut off roughly about 12 to 15 inches of IQ. You will cut it down to about 7 to 9 inches, depending on what's your desired length for your rig. But for this one, I'm going to try and make it about 7 inches. So we're going to make a nice loop in your IQ, leaving a nice bit of tag end. On the tag end, we're going to put your hook eye, pushing the tag towards the point of your hook, if you can see that. And then we're going to wrap using this part of the loop, as you can see, this bit here. We're going to wrap it about 6 times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Using your other finger to hold it, we're going to try and push the tag end back out of the eye of the hook, as you can see. You see that? It's out now. Pull on the tag, and it will bring your knot down onto the shank of the hook. Pull it nice and tight, making sure all them loops are nice and tight together. We're going to push that knot roughly to the opposite where the barb would be. In my case there is a barb there. So as you can see, if it will focus, where the knots are is where my barb is, at the top of the knots, top of the loops. Right, now we're going to thread our swivel on, get hold of it, onto the long part of it. Thread it on. As you can see, my swivel's on there. Bring your long tag end back through the eye of the hook. Make your desired D, as you can see, and use the long tag end again to do about 6 loops around the eye of the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then push that back through the eye of the hook, going to the point of the hook again. To get this other tag end out of the way, you can actually snip this off. So I can snip it off. So that tag end's gone, but I've still got the tag end coming out of the eye of the hook. So that is your hook end complete. The opposite end you're going to measure 9 to 7 inches depending on how big you want your hook. I'm not going to measure, but you can if you want to. I'm going to roughly guess. So you're going to loop over at the end, hold that loop, Then you're going to do a figure of 8 knot. So you're going to do over again, twist that loop. You might need a needle to pass the other loop back through. This bit is quite fiddly, but it's just a plain figure of 8 loop knot. There you go, pull that tight. And there you go. And now you can thread on your kicker. You can actually do this before you do your figure of 8 loop knot if you want to. There you go, simple as that. To put it on, push it over so all them all 6 loops are covered, and you've got a nice kick coming out the bottom. And now you can put your anti-stangle sleeve on as well. I use a beating needle for this, as it is ever so easier. It's just to push it over the top. And now you can put your tag end off. Push your anti-tangle sleeve to the end, and there you go. A nice IQD rig. These rigs are usually made for bottom baits, wafter rigs, stuff like that. So once you've tied your rig, you're going to put your bait on. So for that you're going to need your baiting floss, a needle, a lighter, a pair of scissors, and your desired hook bait. So you'll start with cutting about 3 inches off your bait floss, thread it through your swivel eye, like that. Get your bait and your needle through the bait, get your baiting floss and both tag ends, then hook it on. Close your latch and push it down until it covers the swivel. Like that. Keeping that bigger swivel at the end nice and free for that D to move up and down. And then you're going to cut a little bit off your floss. So have a little bit showing. And you're going to get your lighter, burn it, and then blob it to stop that bait from coming out. And there you go. Your bait and rig is ready to go.